What's up, everybody? My name's Joe. I'm the Kentucky Atheist. This is another episode of Politicallity. We're going to talk about some of the current events and things going on in politics, some of the things in the news, and yeah. So, welcome. And if you're here for the big celebration, and and you didn't bring the proper amount of party supplies, well, we have you covered with that. You can go check out Smoke Cartel and get all your supplies there. Use code Kentucky KY Atheist and get a big discount on the elite membership. Plus, you'll also, if you use my link in the description, you get 20% off your order. So go check them out. It is the cheapest head shop on the internet by far. So go check it out. All right. How is everyone today? I'm sure everyone's doing great. We're going to kind of mess around here in a few minutes before I really get deep into stuff and let people show up and everything. I have some clips and things I want to talk about, and we'll get there in just a minute. Give me 1 second here. I'm having some problems with my video, it looks like. Let's see if we can create that like this. That's better. Okay, so a lot has been going on since I last talked to you, and as you know, Miss Robin Webster usually joins me as co-host of this show, and me and Robin have a lot of fun talking about this stuff, and we like to share it with you guys and interact with the community and stuff, and talk about these things. Robin's out for a few minutes. She's having some health issues and couldn't come today, so. Everybody go say hi to Robin, and I hope you get to feeling better soon, Robin. I hate to see you not feeling well. So with that, there's a I don't know. There's a number of things going on right now, and so if you come to my channel, you'll notice I've made the chat subscribers only. It may show up there, it may not, but that's to deal with some of the problems we've been having, and I'm trying to get back on a regular schedule, and I hope to. The way I'm going to change things around is I'm going to start doing a show 5 days a week. I think, not including this show or the other ones that I already do. I'm going to do a regular daily show 5 days a week, and so keep up with that. We've got a lot of big things coming up. For anybody who comes and watches this later and is interested in information about the Ark Encounter protests, the link for the hotels is in the chat if you need to reserve a room. We managed to get $100 off a night, just about right around that, on the hotel, and we have a bunch of rooms reserved. You just follow that link, it'll take you there. If you have to call them and do it, tell them you're with the Tri-State Free Thinkers group. Don't say Ark Encounter protests. In Kentucky and in that kind of town, I don't know who's friendly to that kind of thing and who's not. So just tell them you're with the Tri-State Free Thinkers group. That's who the rooms are reserved under anyway. So, but yeah, get your rooms, and that has to be done by 3 weeks before the event. You have to have paid for your room by then. If you haven't paid for your room by 3 weeks out, you will be paying full price. So if you want the discounted rate, do it now. And also, when you go to that discounted rate is set up to do, I think the 5th and the 6th is the 2 nights that it's set up to do. You can change that if you need different nights. And if it's not working for you and you call them, they will give you that rate on any night surrounding that. You can even come in on July 4th and get that discounted rate. So Big shout out to Tri-State Freethinkers for helping us out with that and setting that up. They've been great through this whole thing and really helped me to see what they did in the past so I could kind of model it on that. And they've been a big part of this. So, yeah, big thanks to them. And a big thanks to Pangburn for sponsoring the event, which has helped to pay for hotel rooms for our speakers and for a couple other things, some of the advertising and various things to do with the Ark Encounter thing to get people. June 15th is the deadline. Yes, Tori. So big shout out to Pangburn for that. And if you're looking to host an event or know somebody who is, or you want to start an event, contact Travis over at Pangburn. He's doing a whole big thing where he wants to sponsor a bunch of atheist events and stuff. So if you want to get involved and do something and you've got an idea and you need funding, go talk to him. I'm not saying he'll give you the money. I'm just saying he might. But all right. So I don't expect a big crowd tonight. There's a couple other channels streaming, and this show isn't really regular. I mean, I know I do it every other week, but who keeps track of that, right? So, first of all, let me get in the right mindset here. Happy Liberation Day. Are we all celebrating? Are we all celebrating our liberation? You should be. So Donald Trump has made this a holiday. Well, not today. I think it was yesterday, actually. But yeah. So what is it that Donald Trump exactly is marking this as a holiday? Like, what's the event we're observing, right? So let me pull up some media. Maybe. Oh, everything is so out of order. That's not good. Hold on a second, guys. Let me find the clip. I saved it on my desktop and I shouldn't have. All right, here we go. So let me add
Trump's new tariffs. Let's get Peter Alexander back here, and he's going to bring us the latest.
This morning, a historic escalation with President Trump launching his largest tariffs yet. And overnight, many countries vowing to respond after the president took his trade fight to nearly every nation in the world.
It's our declaration of economic independence.
In a flag-draped Rose Garden ceremony, the president announcing an across-the-board minimum 10% tariff on all trading partners except Canada and Mexico that already pay more. The tax on imports affecting everything from clothing and computers to TVs and toys. The president also imposing additional reciprocal tariffs on dozens of countries the White House says are ripping the U.S. off most.
That means they do it to us and we do it to them. Very simple.
China now facing a staggering new 34% tariff on its goods, on top of a 20% tariff already levied, and a 20% import tax on all products from the European Union. Those new 25% tariffs on imported vehicles also now in effect. And the president also ending exceptions for taxes on cheaper goods mailed into the U.S. that could mean higher costs for fans of retailers like Shein and Temu. The White House saying it's targeting the drug trade from China. The Treasury Secretary yesterday urging other countries not to fight back.
Do not retaliate. Sit back. Take it in.
But overnight, China and the European Union warning they could take countermeasures against the United States. The president insisting his tariffs will return jobs and factories to American soil.
We will supercharge our domestic industrial base.
But many economists say the president's actions are certain to cost consumers. The Business Roundtable, made up of some of the top U.S. CEOs, warning the new tariffs risk causing major harm to American manufacturers, workers, families, and exporters. But some farmers believe short-term economic pain is worth it.
I don't think we do have a lot to lose.
All righty. So, real quick here, I've seen some spooky bed hair. I don't know what this Liberation Day thing is. Well, that's what it is. Trump has liberated Americans from their money, especially the poor ones. Now you don't have to worry about having any money to buy things because everything's going to double in price. Our rapist in chief has decided to enact tariffs against every country in the world, and the ones that we do any major trading with, he's hit them with major tariffs, which of course they will retaliate with more tariffs, and that's how trade wars are born, folks. The so let me explain real quick, because I don't hear anybody talking about what it is, about what exactly it is that the plan is here, like how this is supposed to even work anyway. Because obviously tariffs are paid by the people that import those goods, and they're just going to pass that cost on to the consumer eventually, right? That's how all that's always worked, and it's how it will continue to work. So the idea is, and I'll give you an alternative here, where what the idea, the thing that they're making public, and what I think they're actually doing, because it's my channel and I get to do such things. Oh, by the way, if anybody wants to come talk with me about this, just let me know in the chat. Just tag me or something in the chat, and I'll get you a link. But so I think that what the idea is with these tariffs is that if we increase the price of goods coming from other countries, that then Americans will buy the cheaper goods that are made in America, therefore bolstering American manufacturers and making those other countries want to bring their manufacturing to America to get those sales back, right? So other countries that are able to sell goods cheaper than we can on goods made in America, if you buy American, you can undercut that price because of the tariffs that are being added to it. It's to make Americans want to buy American things. The problem with that is, of course, if you don't prepare American manufacturing for that, we don't have those things. And many of the things that we make are made with products from many countries all over the world. So it will literally cause the price of everything to go up. Now, let me move on to my conspiratorial bit here. And this is very much just my opinion. But to me, what I think Trump is attempting to do with this is that when people buy those American goods, that they're at a lower price, right? But you can raise the price of American goods now, and we're going to experience a lot of inflation over this anyway. You can raise the price of those American goods and then make even more profits off of the trade war you started. The side effect is that the rich people get rich, which that always seems to be Donald Trump's go-to, right? So, hey, what's up? Stop the Stupidity and Pragmatic Crystal. Stop the Stupidity. I just wanted to say thanks one more time for buying those memberships and stuff the other day. That was really generous of you, and I appreciate it. So thank you. But so, I mean, I can see someone making the argument that if you raise the price of the foreign goods, then people will buy more of the American goods. But the problem with that is that these things don't operate individually. This is a world market. We are a world marketplace, and everybody has to, all those companies affect each other, right? So what ends up happening is that you cause massive inflation by doing this. And it's quite funny because the apologist for Donald Trump will go around and tell you that, oh, hey, yeah, no, this, we'll pay a little bit more, but it's all going to work out and everything's going to be great, and we're all going to get fucking rich. Woo! But that's not the case, right? So economics is a complicated thing. It's not just a matter of, well, we'll just charge people more and it'll be good. You can't do that because the markets operate on futures, right? When you buy stocks, you're buying futures in things. What it's going to do in the future, whether it's going to do good. You can even buy put options and bet against a company if you want, which right now could make you a lot of money. And I imagine there's some insider trading going on surrounding that. So our markets, when you talk about our Dow and Jones or NASDAQ losing a couple percentage points, you're talking about trillions of dollars, all right? So while our stock market is not a direct reflection of what's going on currently in the economy, it gives you some idea of what the investors and what the public is, how they feel and what their confidence is in whatever idea is being put into action in the economy, right? So when you do something that scares those investors, they sell off their stocks, people lose trillions of dollars, or you do something good and people start buying more stocks. So at the end of the Biden administration, we had a record-breaking economy. We were setting a new record almost every day in the stock market. And GDP, which is gross domestic product. Okay, so GDP just talks about like how much more profitable we are as a country, right? Like how well we're growing, our economy's growing. So you might need some wine for this, Nancy. But and hi unapologetically Chrissy and PC and Ember. Thanks for coming, guys. So what when the economists have looked at what Trump's doing, we had a plus 3.7 increase in GDP, which means that our country's doing really, really good. Our economy's doing great, and we're doing good. We're growing. Well, because of Trump's actions, now they predict that, and this is before Liberation Day. This is last week. Liberation Day is going to make this even worse. But they had the Fed had predicted a 3.8 decrease or recession in American GDP, and an increase in unemployment, and large increases in inflation, up to 4% and 5%. Some have said. So those are all things you can go look up. I'm not telling you that's how it is. These are the things that I've read and what I've looked at for it, and I'm just passing that on to you. Surely nobody is taking the word of the Kentucky atheist as gospel. But so now that Americans have been liberated from their money, let's take a look at what, because if there's any place that can explain the markets and the stuff in a good light and make Trump look good and explain it to us, if there's any place that can do that, it's Fox News, right? Fox News, drinks Trump up daily. So let's see how the various Fox News channels view this, because surely they're going to put a good spin on it, right?
That were released, what looked like, at least watching it on TV, what looked like tariffs that are charged the United States by other nations were not tariffs.
Correct.
They were, the way that was calculated, they created a formula that divided a country, let's say China, a country's trade surplus with the United States just on goods by its total exports based on data for last year from the Census Bureau. And then for what we're going to tariff them, we cut that number in half by 2. So that was supposed to be some expression of how we are wronged on trade by these other nations.
So let me explain real quick, because she's trying to beat around the bush here because she doesn't want to say Trump's a dipshit. First of all, can I point your attention to the red box in the bottom right of the video screen there? That and it's red because that means bad. That means things are going down. And Leaf be upon her. What's up, John? Do you sometimes ask yourself WTF? Yes, quite often. About any number of things. In fact, that's usually the first thing I say when I wake up in the morning. But if you'll notice this number here, this is the Dow Jones. And it's down 1,272.55 points, or 3%. 3%, that's not a lot, is it? Oh, wait, it's trillions of dollars. Our economy has lost trillions of dollars just because of Trump's announcement of this. These haven't even went into effect yet. We've got a couple days. The 5th is when the tariffs go into effect worldwide, and the 9th will be when the reciprocal tariffs go into effect. But let me explain what she's saying here, because she's given it to us in Fox News speak, right? So what this person is trying to say is that we looked at China's trade and seen that they were making more money than us, that they were making money, a profit, damn them, off of trading with us. And so we looked to see how much money we were making, and we made the tariffs just a little bit more than that, so we're making more money than them. If everything continues at the status quo. But that's not going to be the case, is it? Right? Right, Michael. I just explained that a minute ago about how it's people's confidence in the future of the markets. Yeah. But it is it is a thing you can look at to get information about what the economy may do or what trends are going in. Whenever you have major corporations losing trillions of dollars overnight, what do? Because they're not going to take a loss, right? They raise prices. This is what causes inflation. So, yeah, but you're exactly right, Michael. The stock market is just how people feel about the future. It's not the economy itself. You're right. No, you're good, Michael, and I love to always have somebody pointing things out like that. You're not the only one that just came in, so thank you for posting that. It was good information. So here we go. Let me play a little bit more of this, and this isn't just one Fox affiliate. We have multiple here. This is Fox Business. Let's keep going. And by the way, all these videos are linked in the description if you want to go see the full videos. These news clips were actually pulled from a Brian Tyler Cohen episode where he was showing these and talking about them. I had different things to say about them, so I just lifted the clips, but I still put the link down there, and I've given him credit for smashing them together and all that. But yeah. So let's see what they have to say.
But those numbers that were on that grid, they don't mean anything. They're just meant to express how we're getting screwed. Okay. Essentially. Are we?
Well, so the calculation was a Greek alphabet, to Dagan's point.
That's what we have, and that's what everyone's got to work on.
They came up with it because they were in a hurry to cobble something.
Now I want you to look at all that red on the screen right there. So this is really important, okay? And I'm going to explain this the best that I can. Why did it move? Why did the screen just change while I was... What is going on here?
Hurry to cobble something together. I think that even on the...
Sorry, guys.
In a hurry to cobble something together. I think that even on the outside looking in, that was pretty...
We'll see it again.
Time with the market down 1,238 points right now on the Dow Industrials and the Nasdaq down 8.
Okay, here we go. So this was Maria Bartiromo, who is a huge Trump person, and I'm trying to be nice. I really am. So when we look at these numbers here, we have the Dow down about 3%, the Nasdaq down almost 4%, and the S&P down 3.5% right now. It ended up being worse than this actually, but so let me explain something here. Nasdaq. So all right, listen. There's some of these are like our industrial futures, and then there's technology futures, and then there's these S&P 500 futures, right? So the technology people that back Trump and everything lost trillions of dollars today because of what Trump's doing. Trillions of dollars, okay? We're talking lots and lots and lots of money. Now, if your goal is to make America great and make us profitable and we're all going to get rich, remember, woo! If your goal is to do that, taking trillions of dollars of value out of our stock market is not a good start, because what's going to happen is more investors are going to see this and become less confident in our markets, and they're going to run, right? They're going to sell off their stocks, and we're going to lose trillions and trillions and trillions of more. So Dow Jones and Nasdaq track different. So S&P tracks just the biggest companies regardless of industry. Yeah, all the technology stocks are in there though. But for now, although all those big technology companies are in there though. All right.
800 right now, and the market's not even open. Futures indicating a very ugly opening. Now would be the time for some clarity on extending the tax cut.
People who need to get out at a certain given moment, and if the market is down in that.
All right, so Fox Business, Maria Bartiromo. Now we go to Fox News main channel, right? And we'll see. Surely they're they're going to sing Trump's praises for giving us this wonderful Liberation Day that we should all be fucking celebrating, right? Let's see what they have to say about it.
That moment, it could be very harmful to somebody's 401k. So the timing of the market is everything, when it is up and when it is down. I mean, the S&P 500 is down 4%. So the Dow is down the least. It's down 3%. The S&P 500 down 4%. These are huge moves for the equity markets. And the Nasdaq, which is those technology stocks, they're hit the hardest. They're down 5% right now.
All right. So even Fox News, and well, I say even Fox News, but here's the thing. Whenever Trump does these things and people start losing trillions of dollars, that's the one thing that all of these people will speak up and say, maybe we shouldn't do that. Hold on. Maybe we should stop and think about this first. Because he's hurting not just does Trump want to hurt poor people and brown people and not billionaires, but he's hurting everybody doing this. It's really bad. And that whole idea I explained earlier of what may be the reason for thinking that tariffs are a good thing to force people to buy the cheaper American products, that would be fine. Well, it wouldn't be fine. It's a complex thing. There's still problems with that. But the other side of that is that also those countries, now that he's imposed tariffs against every country in the world, all they have to do is say, well, we just won't trade with America anymore. Then they want to have a trade war. We'll just refuse to engage, and we'll go on. And Jester, you're right. There's no way to put a positive spin on the markets crashing. The markets took a nosedive today. Thank thank Jesus for Liberation Day, right? This will be a historic day, but not remembered for the things that Trump wants them to be remembered for. This ends up causing a lot of problems for everyone. And when these countries decide that, well, we just won't mess with America, then we can't sell our goods because they've put these tariffs on them, and we're not making the money we were. Let's just not do that. We can make more money by trading with European countries instead. People like to tout America as this, American exceptionalism, that whole thing. And one of the things that America is rich, right? We've got a lot of money. Oil is sold in U.S. dollars around the world, no matter which countries are selling it. All oil is sold in U.S. dollars. And, well, it was until recently anyway. But that's a whole nother story. This is... my 401k is taking a Trump. Yeah, no doubt. That's really the thing, right? Because these billionaires, right? They lost, they lost a lot of money, but like they had $600 billion. Now they have $500 billion. They don't care. They know that these things go up and down. I mean, they get worried and they'll start saying it's not a good thing because they're losing money. But at the same time, the people that this really does the most damage to are the people who's paid into retirements, and eventually when we get into the Social Security thing, people that have paid into Social Security and all that stuff. And I mean, there's again, just like Jester said, there's no way of putting a positive spin on any of this. There isn't. And I agree with you too, Jester, on the anti-capitalism thing. I think that capitalism is not sustainable in its current form, and this is where that inevitably leads, right? Because it's easy to leverage it against the people and to create a larger wealth gap. And wealth inequality is a big thing that we can talk about, but it's a big complex topic, and I would like to dedicate a show just to having that discussion. If you want to have that discussion, it's one of the most important discussions we can have about America and capitalism and all that. Wealth inequality affects so many of the other issues that we have in our country that it's a supremely important issue, right? But I would like to dedicate the time and do the research and have the sources and things before I get into talking too much about wealth inequality. So sorry for that. But moving on, are you guys celebrating yet? Are you celebrating? Trump's celebrating. You want to see how he's celebrating? Let me show you.
I'm going to come.
Do not come.
I'm going to do it.
Yes. Trump loves it. Trump loves to see poor people suffering, brown people being discriminated against, and all that. Now, I've warned about what the possible outcome is of this of his take on the deportations and what's it called? What's it called? People coming to the United States, immigration. I've talked a little bit about this before and what I think this leads to. And one of the things going on now is there's a couple people who have been deported to an El Salvador prison as gang members from Venezuela, and it turns out they weren't, because Trump is trying to get the Supreme Court right now and set the precedent that they don't need to give these people due process. If they suspect that they're an immigrant, they can deport them, and it's fine. So due process, which is the foundation of our constitutional rights, out the fucking window. Happy Liberation Day. You're liberated. You feel good? What that means, though, is that in the future, and we know that at least one of these deportations was against someone who was here legally as in a retaliatory measure, right? So a college student here on a work visa wrote an op-ed or contributed to an op-ed criticizing Trump and the things he's doing. And ICE agents apprehended her and immediately deported her out of the country, despite a court order saying not to even send her out of the state that she was in. And yeah, so that's the kind of stuff that happens. And we talk about, okay, well, it's a small mistake, one or two people or whatever. When we're talking about deporting people to a prison in El Salvador because it's known for its human rights violations, maybe we shouldn't be sending people there that way. And how if there was only a way, right, that we could not do that, if we could check first somehow. Like, rather than just comparing tattoos to random ones that we searched on Google and saying they're the same, if maybe we would just, I don't know, due process, that's the thing, right? So if we would give these people due process, whose live are you putting in the chat? Robin. But if we could, he doesn't want that, though, because what this allows for him to later do is to use this as a measure to anyone that speaks against him to keep up with the latest weather. Oh, okay. Using that to deport anyone that speaks out against Trump. And under the Alien Enemies Act of 1798, which he enacted, and there's some fighting over that in court. The second part of that people don't normally talk about, which we did a whole show talking about this, but Ron Hall, y'all, is that who you're talking about? I'll speak on Ron Hall in a minute because I think he's sometimes full of shit. But I think it's clickbaity, and he tells people that there's dangerous things coming that just aren't. Anyway, to use this against the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. So the second part of that not only allows for him to deport people that are invading our country, big time air quotes there, but the second part is that it allows them to imprison people who speak out against the government and cause dissent. So, I look for, and given Trump trying to set the precedent, that that he can do these things, just allows him free reign to deport anyone to an El Salvador prison. And one of the people deported to the prison was a father here legally, an American, and so they've ordered him. What the hell was that? They ordered him to return this person or whatever, and they're saying that they can't get this person back. Yeah. The Alien Enemies Act is one of 5 part of the Alien and Sedition Act. Yeah. They say that they can't get this person back. Now, do we know what's happening to the people that are being sent to that prison? Like, do we know that they're that their human rights are being, upheld, or that they're actually even there? Do we even know any of that? Seems to me like they're just kind of disappearing, huh? But anyhow, I digress on that. That's my own conspiracy theory thing. You don't have to believe it, but history can tell us a few things, right? So, let's see what else I got. Oh, Elon, you want to talk about Elon Musk? I suspect that Elon Musk might be here illegally and participating in sedition. Yeah. Let's see. Where is my Elon clip at? Oh, here it is. So
much on the line. The turnout, the highest.
So, there was a Supreme Court race in Wisconsin, right? And this Supreme Court race, our co-president, Elon Musk, was offering people $1 million to come vote for the Republican. Not quite worded that way, but he was giving away $1 million per vote, or offered that in some cases, which is extremely illegal. But whenever you have a do-nothing government, that's what happens. Sorry, I had to take a drink. So Elon tried to pay to buy this election, and I want you to keep in mind as we watch this that Trump won Wisconsin by 8 points, and historically this has been the Supreme Court. We did have a 4-3 liberal-leaning court here, and we were hoping not to lose it, but Wisconsin swung to Trump in the election. Yet the voters don't really match that. But let's watch.
And so much on the line. The turnout, the highest in a Wisconsin Supreme Court race ever in the state, and the most expensive so far in the country.
Yeah, anywhere, right? Jason Calvi is here crunching the numbers of how Crawford won and how Schimmel lost. A lot to break down for you, Jason.
Yeah, there's clues. If you look all around the state, you'll find these clues. First, let's go to Waukesha County, the Republican stronghold, Brad Schimmel's home county, where he's a circuit court judge. When conservative Brian Hagedorn won the state, he won 68% of Waukesha County. Look at how much Brad Schimmel got tonight, with 82% reporting of Waukesha County. 58%, that's not good enough to win. If you want to win the state, you got to do much better in that conservative county. Now let's go to Kenosha County. It's a swing county in a swing state. Tonight means the county voted for the winners in the last 4 Supreme Court races, conservative in 2019, then liberal in 2020, 2023, and again tonight, 2025. Look at that. They picked Susan Crawford with 53% so far in Kenosha County. So after all the campaign ads, after all the door knocks, after all of the mailers, the text messages, the phone calls, all of the people trying to urge your vote, it all came down to you deciding. These are the results of the most expensive court race in American history. $100 million. The world really is watching tonight. The first election under the new term of President Donald Trump. Ted and Kim?
All right. So, Elon Musk tried to buy this election, spent more than ever has been spent on this election in history. And it looks like with 80-some% of the vote counted, that Democrats are leading by about 12 points. It's already been called for Crawford, the Democratic judge. So Trump was unable to do that. Now, why Republicans fear this is because there's already been a shift of people who are switching sides. Right? My camera's trying to get away. There's already been a shift in that, and they're going to set the election maps back the way they were before the Republicans gerrymandered the hell out of them. And so what's going to happen is Wisconsin is now a blue state, essentially. That's what this means. Wisconsin will be a blue state going forward, and Trump didn't want that to happen. Elon Musk tried to pay for it to keep it from happening. But also, isn't it kind of weird that Trump won by 8 points, and here just a few months later, a Democratic wins in the same state by 12? It seems a little suspicious to me, but I'm not going to go as far as to say that I think somebody did something dirty or anything. I'm just saying it's something that I imagine people will be digging into deeper, because it's an odd thing to happen. There we go. That's better. All right, so that's all the clips I have for today, guys. I didn't bring a whole lot, but I figured we would be so busy celebrating Liberation Day that we didn't need a lot of clips to watch. Again, if anybody wants to join and comment on any of this or tell me I'm full of shit or any of that, I will give you a link and you're welcome to. Either way, whether you agree with me or not, I promise I won't cuss you like I did Eric the other day. He deserved it. Let's see. Clips are linked in the description. Yes. All these clips are in the description. You can go watch the full. Most of those were the full clip, but a couple of them were cut up for the purpose of this show. So, but all the original videos are linked down there. Let's see. There are blue districts here in New York where the Dems won at every level except president. Weirdly, Harris got 0 votes. I'm sure it's just coincidence, though. Yeah, it is weird, right? It's okay, Joe. You can say it. I'm sure a lot of dirty took place. Yeah, I'll come fight you. You want me to send you a link, Jester? I'll send it to you in Discord, okay? Give me just a second. But so one of the things that I have to point out, and hold on, let me send this link first, so I don't say something stupid on accident. I hope that everything I say stupid is on purpose. Let's see. There you go, Jester. I sent you a link. One of the and my cigarette went out. Great. Got to smoke plenty of cigarettes for this conversation. But what was I going to say? Now I forgot. Oh, about the election. So we had this whole thing with Trump, and he of course made all these crazy claims about what happened in the election, and he was defeated in court over 60 times for these claims, right? Most of them because of standing and stuff like that, or because they came to court with no evidence of fraud whatsoever. They just wanted to say, but people. And so yeah, there was a lot of that in the Trump campaign, and I think whenever this happened in the last election, nobody wanted to go down that road because of how bad it was and things. And I think that you have one party that's trying to play by the rules, and the other party is not playing by the same rules whatsoever. And so that's why that Democrats are fucking useless. All right, what's up, Jester?
Oh man, how dare you not, go all out and sound like a loony with this, Ugh. How will they spin this to make it sound like we're, being overhyping something that's just not that bad if you don't, sound absolutely horrified and just go over the top. Come on, Joe.
I'm not being radical left enough, right?
Exactly.
So here's the deal, folks. What they should be doing, they should be taking this money and just giving it to everybody.
I kind of wish that Bosley didn't exist at the moment, because we should be making jokes about how the muskrat that used to live on Trump's head is clearly an illegal immigrant, and we need to deport it.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I think that little clip, the little funny clip I played of Trump, I'm going to use that often now. I like it. In fact, here, we'll do it one more time just for fun.
Yes.
I'm going to come. Do not come.
I'm going to do it.
See, I wish I could celebrate Liberation Day like Trump, but
it's really hard when you have a conscience.
Yeah. Yeah, and I agree. My how do you go radical left enough? I want in. If our left was even left, that would be acceptable to me. Don't get me wrong. See, here's the thing, and I get in a lot of arguments on the internet about this. Is as soon as I say something criticizing Trump, someone says, "Oh yeah, you've been watching CNBC or CNN or MSNBC, whatever. You know, you're just repeating the things you heard. You need to quit watching that liberal media." And and you're just a Democrat saying, you're just a radical Democrat saying crazy shit. Well, here's the thing. Guess what? Not a Democrat. I'm not a Democrat. I never have been. I registered as Democrat for one election. It was Al Gore versus George Bush, and I voted for Al Gore, who, as we know, lost. But the problem is, I wouldn't care to vote for Republicans if they represented any of the needs of the American people. If we had a conservative party of our government that behaved, as they do in other places, that they actually are about, fiscal spending and all that shit. I'm not against all of those things. Yeah, I voted for Gore. I'll be 114 this year. But I mean, I'm
not. Joe is old enough to drink.
Sometimes. I'm old enough to drink. I'm just not in good enough health to drink.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah. Now that I'm okay, so I'm 40. I'll be 43 in a couple months. By the time the ARC protest gets here, I'll be 43. In fact, that week is my birthday. So yeah, I'm old as fuck. I'm a middle-aged.
Not a full decade ahead of me. Got it.
Yeah. I get it. I'm an old white guy talking about things, and that's not always the most helpful. But I could be an old white guy just sitting and saying nothing. So
no, we as Maya has said, I'm speaking Maya's words that she said to me. We need white guys talking because apparently the other white guys will only listen to other white guys.
Well, I don't want to perpetuate that behavior either. Whether it's, even if that's the case, I don't want to reinforce that kind of behavior. But I don't do. Me saying things has nothing to do with any of that, right? I mean, like, it's not. I'm not here to speak to white people. I'm here to speak to people. If you're a person and you're here, I'm talking to you. Or if Trump has recently decided that you're not allowed to be a person and you're here, I'm talking.
I can get a show together. I need Maya at the table.
Maya, you want to come on? Maya always has a great take on these things.
Maya has way more to say than most people, and she tends not to actually say a lot.
I would have Maya on every show I do if she would do it. I would talk to Maya every show. Me and Maya have disagreed on things in the past. We don't agree on every point, but we agree on the most important ones. I think. So I would have Maya come talk to me any day about this stuff. But I was just stopping. What if we're not officially people, though?
I'm
Yeah.
waiting for that day, Amber. I'm waiting for that day. As a person with multiple disabilities, I'm waiting for them to go, "You're not a person."
Yeah. PC just posted Transpositions Weekly show in the chat. That if you hang around at the end of this show, you'll be automatically sent there to that. So all you got to do is sit tight, and when we end, it's set to redirect you to there. And definitely go check out that show. It's a great show with some great hosts that know their shit. And they're not as negative as I am, apparently. But yeah.
I mean, shortly before I saw your show, I found out that it is the third day of the racist state's heritage month, and
I thought
that
it was
put me in a sour. Apparently, it is April. I even looked it up to fact check it and found out that this month is, and also my state that I'm living in currently of South Carolina became officially the first state to put anti-DEI shit into law, and so yeah.
Yeah.
I'd just like to be the first to say, fuck you, this state, and I apologize to the rest of the fucking country that we're a disgrace.
Yeah. Well, we accept your apology and we'll think about it, okay? Yeah. Of all the crazy shit that I would imagine Republicans. So let's talk a little bit historically about what Republicans and Democrats do. So historically speaking, Republicans generally run up the debt to a new record. Well, not generally, they do. Every Republican president has increased the debt to a record amount, and every Democratic president has lowered that debt, and in a couple of cases, even had a surplus during their presidency, such as Bill Clinton. There's others though, but the states that are historically red, such as mine, make up many of the poorest states in the country and the less educated states. There's a correlation between these things. I'm not saying I'm not making any other claim than that personally. That's for people smarter than me to talk about. But you can make your own conclusions, right? I mean, it's not a coincidence that we have 50 attempts at this, and we see correlations between the dichotomy, right? There's only a couple choices. So, and I mean, in that situation, Trump's not doing anything different, but there's the thing with Trump is he tries to make it mainstream to just lie to people and be racist and bigoted. Like he wants to normalize that kind of behavior, and that's what they're doing, and that's why they get so many of these racist, bigoted voters in America that weren't generally voters, because they got somebody that's making it okay to behave like a piece of shit. So the piece of shits come out, right? it's like magnets almost. Hold on here. Stop the Stupidity gifted 5 Kentucky Atheist memberships. Kalasia, Gregory Nitsky, Sunny Blue, Atheist Junior, I know that guy. Can't Speak, all got memberships. Thank you so much. You've been very generous this week. Stop the Stupidity. I appreciate it. And all the new members, welcome. I do streams every week for my members, and they're usually some of my better streams. I think that puts us up over 60 memberships right now. So that's a lot for my channel. I usually hover somewhere in the 30 range. But so yeah, I appreciate it, and I hope everybody enjoys that stuff. Thank you. All right. I always want to make sure, because if I don't do that when it comes up and say all those things, then I'll forget.
Yep. It will happen.
I mean, the words I'm saying about it are honestly my position. It blows my mind anytime somebody supports this channel or even comes and watches. Really, like I'm surprised all the time by those things. So like I really do appreciate those things, and that's why I stop and give that whole spiel, because I don't want to forget, because for sure need to do that. But anyway, so what state were you from again, Jester?
Okay, I'm in South Carolina now.
Okay.
I'm not native to here. I'm the scrotum beneath the scrotum beneath our treasured Wisconsin. That I used to be from Illinois, just like Bree and the lovely Maya.
Yeah.
And her weasel.
I didn't know Dr. Tapp was from Illinois. Yeah. I was just curious because of what you said earlier. And I think you mentioned it earlier, but
I did. Yeah.
I was doing other things. Trisha, here's a concern people should have. My husband is an immigrant and became a citizen a few years ago. I still worry that they could deport him. It's been so hard for my family. Tearfully, really. The worry he could disappear is so real. Yeah, and that's that's a rational concern that you have there. I mean, again, it came out that they were deporting these people based on tattoos and stuff, and turns out the database, the 4 or 5 pictures of tattoos they were referring to do this were just pulled from Google searches, and they were like, some of them were just like stars and things. Like, all kinds of people get tattoos of stars, and they deported the one person, the one that was the father, because he had a crown on his arm and it said mom underneath it or something, and they said that was a gang tattoo. This is the problem with not giving people due process. If we're not going to, I don't know at what I'm waiting on the fighting to break out, right? Like, because I don't see it changing any other way, right? I mean, it's great that they won the Wisconsin seat, and it's great that those Florida seats that Republicans still won got closer to being blue, and that some are going to be turned. And in the midterms, I expect Democrats will win pretty big, since it's already looking like they would if we did it today. But I mean, what is the button that they have to push? Where is that line in the sand to where people stop just bitching about it and being scared and upset and come together and take a walk? Like, I don't know. Call me when you're ready, I guess. I I don't know. But taking people's rights away to where you can just deport anyone for any reason is a scary thought. And Trisha, I understand you being more scared than most given your specific situation. So I hope that doesn't happen. And I would carry papers around with me everywhere. Just you shouldn't have to do that in the United States. That's one of those things that it's actually unconstitutional for them to do that kind of. But I would carry him everywhere just in case. Hey, Sue Mommy, what's up? Good to see you. But what do you think, Jester? Yep. What are we doing here? Are you still here, Jester? Hello? Can anyone hear me? Am I still streaming? Did they shut down my stream because I said that? They might have. Wait a minute.
I'm here.
Okay.
My mouse died.
Well, after I say the thing about the thing that we need to talk about, that we can't, after I say the thing, all of a sudden the chat stops moving and you don't answer. I was like, shit.
I hear you. I'm like, wait. And it's
I thought I was getting
not even
in the morning.
It's not even a issue about battery. My mouse just stops registering sometimes.
Yeah. I've got a Logitech mouse that you can use it on 3 different devices just by pushing a button on it. And so sometimes I'll accidentally hit the button that switches it, and I'll be sitting here trying to use my computer and the mouse is on and everything and it's not working. And I'm like, what the fuck is the problem? and I'll change the batteries in it and everything before I discover it's just me being stupid.
So
that's kind of how stupid works, though, ain't it?
Not only do I say you should probably keep papers on you, I would advise getting papers to keep at home as well. Because I don't trust them to, not lie. No, we didn't get any papers from this person. They didn't hand us any legal documentation that they are Americans.
Look what the cat grabbed. If it's not Justin, Yahooigan himself,
oh man,
gracing us with his presence after months of absence.
Justin, we are still waiting to become the 11th province of Canada. We are standing by, ready to receive you, okay?
we just make a new state with, I'm just messing with you, Justin. We could always make we could just combine Canada and America and call it Amanda.
Oh no.
We call it Amanda and we can be the crazy bitch of countries. How about that?
Oh, God, you're making me want to. I went over this already with Vic Lit last night, just in direct messages, but somebody put out the stupidest fucking Facebook post about why we renamed the Gulf of America and why it was important.
Hold on before you go any further with that. Hold on, okay? So you just claimed that this is the stupidest Facebook post. Now I want you to think about that because there's a mountain.
I said on this subject, on why. I did not say it was the stupidest in total. I said on why the renaming of the Gulf of Mexico was an important thing.
Because I've once seen a person stick a hot dog up their ass on YouTube. So, this is yeah, you gotta really work hard for this. No, I'm joking. Go ahead.
I mean, the main premise of it that was basically by renaming it, it allows people to know when they are leaving American waters and entering international waters. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, do you actually think that the people on the boats are looking at the map?
We don't want to go there because it's not named right. Yeah, they'll definitely avoid that imaginary line now.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, listen, if they needed us, if it was that important, what it basically boiled down to was, listen, if it's that important that we do this so that the people who are driving the boats know when they are in American waters versus in international waters, we need to be arresting the people on the boats and checking what the fuck they're up to already, because something is wrong.
Yeah. Apparently they got into all that cocaine they're smoking.
That is how I phrased it, too. I was like, I need somebody to go over this drug-addled, this obvious drug-addled cope post with me.
Cope post. That's the thing, right? That's really what's at play here. How far? I mean, I'm sure some of the really like the white supremacists and some of the religious bigots and things. I'm sure that they're willing to just. I mean, they'll go down with the ship, but how far are most people who voted for Trump willing to go to to apologize for the things that he's doing, like to try and give explanation? Um, and like you said earlier, there's no way to put a positive spin on what's going on in the stock markets, right?
Not yet.
Not yet, right?
When there are billionaires jumping off of buildings, then there will be positive news for the anti-capitalists to respond to.
That's. I don't think I've ever agreed with a proposition like that, but yeah, maybe. Yeah. Well, I mean, this will all fall under, well, it's going to be hard for a little bit, but we've got to detox ourselves off of this government money, and yeah, it'll be one of those. Trump said that it was going to hurt for a little bit, and things were going to be harder at first. That's fine that Trump said that, and he did say he was going to do these things that he's doing. I mean, he actually didn't lie about that. He's doing all the stupid shit he promised to do, and everything that Project 2025 promised to do. I don't know at what point though they were like, oh, okay, well, if I don't starve to death before I get that big check, and all of this is in the name of making people rich and saving money. But whenever Elon Musk went and cut all these programs that, surprise, were held 32 investigations against him, every time all these programs he went and closed in the name of saving money, but they want to increase the debt ceiling by $4 trillion while cutting things like Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, food stamps. It's not a secret. I mean, they've written it down. So I don't know how far people go to say, oh yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be or whatever. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know there's a significant number of white assholes out there that want to see minorities and marginalized people discriminated against, deported, tortured, and all that other shit. Like I know that when I walk outside, every other person's a piece of shit. Like I get it. But still at the same time, this has started to affect money, right?
Well, you just, I just realized what might be, in a way, the most disturbing thing about all of this. This might be the closest that Donald Trump has ever come to following through on something that he said he's going to do in his entire fucking life.
Yeah. Well, you can thank the Heritage Foundation. Which is, and really
No
isn't that it?
I'd like to thank them.
So what did Trump 2 learn from Trump 1, right? And because Trump is a devious, awful, meatbag, piece of shit, rapist, fraudster, bigot of a person, right? Because he's all those, the lessons that he learns fit that aura. So what Trump learned is that, oh, I don't have to, I know how now I can actually do all these things by putting people in, and the whole Project 2025 thing broke it down, right? We're going to fire all the civil employees, and we're going to I got resin on me. We're going to fire all these employees and replace them with people who are loyal to my causes and things, and then that way I can carry out all these things I said I was going to do, and nobody's going to stop me. And if they try to, the Supreme Court said I don't have to listen to anybody. So, he learned that lesson, and now he didn't have to lie to get elected. He can actually fulfill all your bigot and racist dreams. And let me point at something interesting though. Throughout, again, with presidents, some of them fulfill maybe some of their campaign promises, but almost every president, Democrat or Republican, ends up being criticized for not doing the things they said they were going to do. Now, sometimes there's a valid explanation for why they didn't do those things, because they just couldn't within the law or whatever. We'll see with Donald Trump when he ran into that problem. Like I said earlier, you have one side playing by the rules and the other making them up as they go and not playing by any of the rules. And that's what Donald Trump's doing. He said, oh, you want to say I can't do that thing? I'm going to do it anyway. What are you going to do? I mean, because they can't do anything. There's nothing the government can do. When it comes down to it, they can bitch and impose this and that and hold in contempt and do all these things. But Donald Trump will never see any bit of accountability for any of this ever, right? We understand that. He will never be held accountable in any real way, right? Damn. It's bad when you put it that way, ain't it? I don't know. We're in an impasse here because it's like, like it's one thing to I mean, the Republicans didn't just start being bigots and pieces of shit, right? Like this has been going on for a while before Trump even. The thing is though, is that it's just when it was differences in how you feel about whatever issue, or Republicans and Democrats disagreed on policy, but that's not what this is. It's one thing to disagree on policy. I'm not going to do it that way. We're gonna cut all these programs and give it to rich people. That's not surprising in any way. They always do that. A lot of those things are you can live with them. You're like, well, we got a few years of this, and then hopefully, once it starts to hurt the stupid people, they'll come to their senses and learn a few things, and maybe it'll be better, right? Because it switches back and forth like that a lot, and I'm okay and willing to accept that. Like, the second George Bush presidency, like, we knew it was going to be about wars in other countries, and I mean, they used the word terrorism like 136 times during his speech or something, and like we knew that terrorists and insurgents and all that crap, right? We knew what was coming, and it was a hard pill to swallow, but it's like, yeah, we'll get through that, and then we'll see what happens. And we had a recession and all that stuff, and all that was bad. What's up, Dan? Good to see you. But this is kind of different, right? Because number one, he's actively, like, he claims he's done one thing, but it seems more like he's went to war with the American people, right? Anyone who doesn't support him, which all the major demographics of the Democratic base are the ones that he's trying to punish. But also, the scapegoating that he did in order to get elected. It's strange to see a president, not only sign into executive order some of those things that he was pushing for, but to continue to speak about that unprovoked, right? It's like he's still campaigning. And I think, all this talk of I'm going to run for a third term, and nobody's going to have to vote again, and all that stuff, I think all of that is going to be coming up front and center here really, really soon. Going to be part of the conversation. But since he can't be punished here, I would let the international court, or maybe a country he attacked, have him. Yeah, I mean,
don't think the third term talk will come up quickly. I think he will hold off on that.
Well, I think that the third term talk is largely a distraction, because he doesn't he even if he allowed that somehow, I don't think he actually plans to run for anything. I think he just plans to stay.
True. But I don't think he's going to. I think they're going to convince him to hold off on talking about that until towards the very end, so that, he can just put, like, defenses around the White House and stay. Just refuse to leave. Right? He's never straightforward about things anyway. He doesn't talk about some of what he does. Yeah. He's not the smartest, but there are things he does manage to not talk about. Yes, Ember, he's already talking about it, but he's not, like, talking about it.
It's not the primary issue that he's focused on right now. I was saying I suspect it becomes more of the focus. Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, I get it. I mean, I can see, and that's not something that that's purely just my opinion. I can understand your position and why he other things. But I think though, because it's largely a distraction, is why I think that it comes up now.
Yeah.
But maybe not. Like I don't know.
I mean, he's not smart. So who knows? Hopefully, he could start talking about it more and more, because that's like the best thing that we can hope for is to have clips of him outright saying his plan. Not that anybody ever listens to straight up clips of him saying what he's going to do.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, yesterday was just Liberation Day. It was just him announcing the things that he plans to do. None of the, I mean, other than the ones we already have with Canada and Mexico, those tariffs don't get enacted for a few more days.
He said they were getting enacted tonight or that night.
Yeah, no. They the worldwide tariffs start on the 5th, and the reciprocal tariffs start on the 9th.
I'm not shocked, but yeah,
no, right.
I watched a few things on it, and God, oh yes, the penguins, those poor fucking penguins. How dare he put a large tariff on the penguins?
But I mean, yeah, like you hear Trump say something, and then you later hear that's not at all right. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. That follows.
I also love that there's like, from my understanding, there's countries, islands, and continents listed on there just willy nilly. That like whoever drafted the bill clearly doesn't understand geography.
Right. I mean, Lauren Boebert is Congresswoman.
It's a high bar. It's a high bar that you be able to tell that South Africa is a country in the on the continent of Africa, which is not a country, but
Yeah. Why would you need to know that?
I don't know. Oh well, I don't know. Sometimes
As long
geography
hey,
confuses
listen,
me too. I'll give
all
them that.
all the geography you need to know, Jester, is that water down there by Florida and Texas. That's the Gulf of America, and up there, Canada. That line between us and Canada don't mean anything.
Hey, wait a minute. You know what? That's a great point. Seeing as it's the 51st state, I don't need a passport to go there, right?
Well, that's true. That's actually my argument that I make is that for me, then I would be allowed into Canada if that happened. But yeah, but him saying he hasn't made it that way yet. But if he does, yeah, you wouldn't need a passport to go.
He said it's the 51st state. Remember, he said during his first term that things that he thinks make them law, or something like that.
I'm sure making Canada the 51st state would I'm sure the Canadians, once you take their health care and make marijuana illegal federally, I'm sure they will be coming in droves to vote for Trump.
Oh yeah, totally.
I mean, like, yeah, I mean, it's not funny in a real way, but I'm not joking about it being funny. Canada would be the 51st state. I'm joking that our president's a dumbass, and I'll continue to do that.
I mean,
I'm sorry if you don't like it.
I kind of get annoyed by that rhetoric. You understand that humor was developed as a way for us to deal with stress.
Yeah.
So, yes, I will joke about it because it is stressful, and I need to spin it in a way that makes me de-stress.
The joke that I made though was saying that it was funny that Trump thinks that once he takes their insurance and makes marijuana illegal, that they're going to come in droves to vote for him. So that's funny because it's such a stupid thing that he's doing. I mean, we could not talk about it and just allow him in the background to do it. Everybody can just shut the fuck up about it, I guess. I don't think that's what you want.
Yeah,
so,
I just,
yeah.
it's frustrating because people go, no, don't joke about it. It's not funny. It's like, I have to.
I mean,
I have to.
I think that there's a difference in like just coming out and telling a joke, but giving the framing of, well, then leave if you don't like it. I'm sorry. Bye.
We're making fun of the fact that it's insulting.
I mean, you I find it amazing that you specifically would want people to not be talking about this, but when you talk about the absurdity of it, when we're pointing out the absurdity of what it is, I think coming in here and acting offended that we're defending Canada's right to be a sovereign state I think you're kind of having a bad take on it here, and you might be getting a little too touchy about it. So we'll change the subject for now, but like I'm sorry you feel that way. All right. So that being out of the way, let's back to Wisconsin. So Elon Musk was originally made a post on X, and I think it appeared elsewhere too. I'm sure it did, but to pay $1 million per vote for people to vote for the Republican running for the Supreme Court there, and Trump won that state by 8 points. So if anything, you would expect them to be starting from a strong position. And last look at 80-some%, they were losing by 12 points. So it'd be somewhere in that general area. They said by 10 points by the end of it, they expect. But
Elon, he expected the whole time because 5D chess and all that.
Oh, shit. It's 8 o'clock. I'm sorry. I didn't realize that it was already time for transpositions to start. So
it is.
Hang tight, everybody. Sorry for the sudden stop. I got to celebrating Liberation Day a little too hard and missed the time there. But they're usually a few minutes late. Anyway, so.
We're liberated from intelligence.
You're liberated from listening to me talk about the absurd things that happen in our political world. I'll be back again 2 weeks from now to talk about it again. Ollieman, you're welcome to come discuss the Canada thing if you want. I think you'll find that maybe you don't know the position that I'm speaking from it on. If you want, I don't care really. But other than that, hang tight. Everybody will be sent over to the transpositions. Thank you so much for coming.
Yay!